No-brainer for Scott to contact me, given my colorful past with and without bicycles. As the guys mentioned, formerly known as the Bicycle Bandit in 1995, August 8th to be exact, and somebody here is intimately familiar with that day, as well as myself. I was arrested and charged with 26 bank robberies, half of which were committed riding stolen bicycles. I never used my own bike because I didn't have one. I had sold it for drugs long before that. A recent appearance in the Toronto Star and that Scott had read led him to me, and I was more than willing to offer my time here. Anything to do with safety and healthy lifestyles, I'm all over it. Constable Samantha earlier mentioned safety and helmets, and when I was here yesterday for the photo shoot, I was watching the kids do some stuff on the bikes. It was just unbelievable. Some of those tricks I did years ago, never meaning to perform those tricks. It was more often than not escaping something, running from something, or otherwise using my bicycle as a means to avoid trouble. I mentioned my colorful past, and bikes have been a part of my life, like most of you, since I was a little kid. I was always slinging my bike over my shoulder through the winter months, riding through slush and rain, and that mutated into a mode of transportation for my chosen career, which was drug dealing in the 70s and 80s. And using a bicycle during the commission of bank robberies was a no-brainer for me. It just seemed like it made sense. After my release from prison, my first purchase was a bicycle, and I continued to use that mode of transportation to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I think it's very important that in events like this, grassroots events, which is where all this stuff starts, with the hard work of people like Scott and everyone else who have donated their time to this, I think all this public awareness begins with events like this, and the press showing up, and the media, and everybody else who supports these should give yourselves a little pat in the back, because this is where all the stuff starts. Bicycle registration is very important. But since I was a kid, the streets have become much, much more dangerous for bicycle riding, and I was watching somebody perform tricks here yesterday with no helmet on, and that didn't make any sense to me. You can survive almost any trauma to the body, as some of these EMS guys will tell you, but one knock to the head and everything you've learned over the years is seeping out your ear while you're laying on the sidewalk. And how cool is it to be laying in a hospital bed being fed by a straw because you chose not to wear a helmet while either performing a trick or riding to or from your friend's house? I think for me, the message today, the most important message, along with the others, is bicycle safety and how very dangerous it is out there riding your bike along streets that aren't designated as bicycle friendly, riding the wrong way in oncoming traffic, not using signals. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not uncool to wear a helmet, and it's not uncool to signal what your intentions are, because you are a vehicle on the road. And I think that the safety aspect is first and foremost for me, and it should be for you as well. It's not uncool to wear a helmet. It's not uncool to signal, but it is very cool to ride a bike. And it is very cool to do the tricks that you guys are going to do later on and have been practicing for a long time. So I'd just like to thank Scott Wells very much for contacting me. I was looking forward a great deal to doing this. Usually I'm speaking to drug addicts and academics and universities, but as I mentioned before, anything that dealing with helping kids and helping kids leading a healthier lifestyle and a safer lifestyle, I'm all over it. And I think in settings like this, establishing positive peer groups is very important. And as I mentioned to somebody the other day that because of media coverage of youth today, people get afraid of groups of kids together. People are afraid when they see groups of youth, regardless of the color or regardless of where they happen to be. But people are not afraid of youth on bikes, and that's very strange. I think bikes are a positive way to remain healthy, positive mode of transportation, saves the environment, less traffic. But please remember, be safe, ride safe, wear your helmet, and signal. You don't want to get run over. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
I'd like to thank Michael Flaxman for coming out and speaking to you guys. We also like to thank the guys that are brushing out the rain. Thank you a lot. We'd like to bring up Scott Mills right now. Scott?
And if you want to check Mike out, you can check him out at Boo Radley's, which is a restaurant he owns.